Joining us to discuss is Newsmax columnist and host of Dick Morris Democracy, Dick Morris. Dick, thank you very much for joining us. It's great to see you.
You're welcome.
And what do you think about what Manchin has to say, his common ground that he's trying to reach?
I think it's BS. I think that Manchin is playing us all for suckers. He claims this is middle ground. It's so far to the left it couldn't possibly be called middle ground. First of all, it provides that you could do voter ID, but you don't have to. What you could do is fill in an affidavit. Now, the idea that you can't do a photo ID is it's inconvenient. Well, what's more convenient, getting an affidavit or getting a driver's license? But the fact is that his bill will lead to having stands in front of the registrars or in front of the polling booth with attorneys sitting behind folding tables with a big stack of affidavits here and a pen here and a notary sitting there, and they'll just churn out the affidavits one after the other, and basically nobody will have to do a photo ID. And there's no photo required in the affidavit process. The key thing is photographs, so that you can see if these are real people or if they're duplicating somebody else who's done that. The other point that Portman made, though, is crucial. The Constitution is clear that the states decide who can vote in their states. Now, because of this massive discrimination against blacks that happened in the old Confederacy, the Federal Voting Rights Act of 1965 superseded that constitutional requirement in the name of enforcing the 15th Amendment. But now, and they said because of the evidence of discrimination, we're going to federalize it in these 14 states, 11 plus 3. But now, what they're saying is there's evidence of discrimination in all 50 states, and we are going to take it over in the entire country. And you can't change your election law, you can't have voting requirements without the prior approval of the Attorney General of the United States, which is to say Joe Biden. So the president will have the unilateral authority, in effect, to set the rules for the coming election of 2022.
Yeah.
That means we will no longer have a democratic process with a small d in electing Congress because the president can manipulate it any way he wants through the power of the Attorney General.
That's assuming it gets through.
It's the most breathtaking power grab in the world.
That's assuming it gets through. I'm guessing if it does, there are going to be fights from the states that some have passed their own laws. It's going to end up in the courts. But that only happens, I'm guessing, if this actually passes. So what form do you think could actually pass?
Well, first let me say, ending up in the courts is a non-starter because this court is so supine and so refusing to stand up for itself. They're all terrified of being packed, and they all cave in, just like they did on the Affordable Care Act decision, 7-2. In terms of passing, I think that Manchin is hoping that he can sell this deal, and because he's made a big deal of bipartisanship and coming together, that he can sell this fraud to the conservatives and to the Republicans. But it is a total fraud. It's worse than Pelosi's bill. Pelosi's bill gives the power to Congress. This bill gives the power to the appointed Attorney General of the United States, the presidential appointment. Let's have Joe Biden's guide to figure out what the rules should be for all 50 states.
So, Dick, do you think that Congress can defer this to a later bill, and will any action be taken prior to the 2022 midterms?
I hope that we're able to stop this Manchin snow job from happening. And I hope that there are not enough, quote, moderate Republicans to give him 60 votes. Manchin is pretty committed against the filibuster, and he's not going to change that. He can't politically. But as long as there are not squishy Republicans who will go along with this, it can't get 60 votes and it won't pass. Let's understand, this is by far the major Democratic priority. They don't care about all the spending bills, infrastructure, climate change. What they care about is manipulating the electoral system for Congress and the presidency ad infinitum. And that's what this bill is an attempt to do. And it is a wolf in sheep's clothing which Manchin sold by standing up against for the filibuster, which was great, knocking the For the People Act, which was great, but then he turned around and replaces it with something worse.
All right, Dick Morris, thank you.
I like his political term, squishy Republicans.
I know, I was saying the squishy Republicans.
Right.
Remember, folks, you can read
That's
all
with a capital.
Go
That's with the capital S.
Squishy with a capital
It's a
S.
new political party. Squishy Republicans.
Squishy Republicans. They're the rhinos or these
Why
the
not? You
sinos,
capitalize the T in Trump Republicans. Why not squishy?
Makes sense to me.
All right. Thank you, Dick. Remember,
Thanks.
you can read Dick's articles on Newsmax.com. There you go. And you can catch him on Dick Morris Democracy every Saturday, 7:30 p.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m. right here on Newsmax.